Yes, ma'am, all the way in the back. Just stand up.
Yes, in my humble opinion, for you to act so outraged with the Solyndra issue, $500 million is a lot of money. What about the billions of dollars that we approved to give to banks?
Okay.
To give to those Wall Street moguls. Okay. Why are you not outraged about that? Why are you not doing something to fix that wrong? My second question is, I would like you to speak to every woman in this room and every woman who would have been denied the opportunity to have mammograms with your ridiculous cut to women, your insult to women through your Planned Parenthood investigation.
Oh, okay. I voted against the TARP, which is a bailout.
But you're in charge of investigating.
No, let me answer a question. I voted against the stimulus package. If you go on my webpage, why don't you look at the videotape of me interrogating Hank Paulson, the Secretary of Treasury, about the TARP. So I was one of the members outraged against the bank bailouts and that TARP, and in many ways outraged against Bernanke, who is the chairman of the Federal Reserve. The only Republican in the House of Representatives to stand up and say he should not be appointed. You can see my speech. Because this man is doing Q1, Q2, Q3s, and all this is creating inflation, and it's just creating too much money in the economy, which ultimately is going to create inflation. Now, and your second question is, as oversight chairman, I have the responsibility to look at government spending. Planned Parenthood gets roughly $487 million a year of taxpayers' money. Now, if I'm going to look at Solyndra, which is $535 million, why is it wrong for me to look at Planned Parenthood? Planned Parenthood has been around for 90 years. There's not one oversight investigation of Planned Parenthood in its entire 90 years. Are you saying it's wrong for one member of Congress to ask how taxpayers' money are being spent? This is not a question of issues of women's mammograms or the pink ribbon. This is about 88 affiliates that across this country in the last 10 years, states have found fraud and overbilling by Planned Parenthood, and they have been fined, and they've had to pay these fines. We have found across the board, like any government agency, this is a not-for-profit separate agency, but it gets taxpayers' money. Is it wrong for me to say, what are you doing with taxpayers' money in these 88 affiliates, and more importantly, bring some accountability? So all my letter that went out dealt with financial, had nothing to do with women's issues or anything else. It was just doing what the Constitution says. Stearns, look at government spending and see if there's some way to make it accountable. Yes,
I'm a woman and
thank you.
I do too. Could I address this, please?
Go ahead.
Okay, first of all, people don't realize that aside from just the abortion facilities, most of which do not do mammograms, they also get millions and millions. I can hardly speak.
Oh, okay, I'll repeat it.
Okay, millions and millions of dollars for sex education programs, and I personally found $33 million coming from Title V of Social Security money, and $155 million coming from grants from HHS, and a lot of them are hidden. And so what I'm saying is, and this doesn't even account for the state and the local and the charity and the private contributions. These people are making a fortune, and they are not accountable. But here's the thing. They're not only not accountable, they told us that they had to do these sex education programs to reduce teen pregnancy and to reduce teen sexual activity. Well, guess what? There is absolutely no proof anywhere of anything to do with teen pregnancy because our local health departments don't carry the data, our state health departments don't carry it, and therefore our national health departments have nowhere to get it, and neither does Planned Parenthood. But aside from that, in Planned Parenthood's own report, and you can look it up online, they tell you on pages 19 through 21 that the teen pregnancy is only an estimate, and that estimate is based on the birth rate, which we do have figures for, but it's also based on estimates from the abortion rates and the miscarriage rates.
Gotcha. Okay.
So basically, we're giving them millions of dollars based on an estimate that are based on estimates.
Yeah. Well, let me just confine it to questions here because everybody can give them an advocacy for their position. But I think just the fact is that If you look at what I'm doing, it's a responsible response to an organization that gets taxpayers' money.